Hey everyone! When you think of Moses, you may picture an unshakable leader delivering the Ten Commandments to his people. But what comes to mind when you see this burning bush? Was it a miraculous sign, or just a weird bush on fire? Well, if you're thinking the latter, guess what? You're not alone. Even Moses had to do a double take. You see, Moses' life was turned upside down long before he met God in the burning bush. Born to Hebrew parents, his life was threatened when Pharaoh ordered all male Hebrew infants killed. So his mom hid him in a basket, and poof, he ended up in the Nile River. Talk about a near-death experience. Luckily, Pharaoh's daughter found him and adopted him, naming him Moses, which means taken out or saved out. Raised in the palace, he had the royal treatment. But despite the privilege, Moses felt a pull towards his Hebrew roots. Then one fateful day, after catching an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave, Moses took matters into his own hands, literally. He killed the Egyptian, and then panicked, knowing he might be in trouble. When Pharaoh found out, he fled to the land of Midian, and there he settled into a chill life, minding his own business, tending the flock of his father-in-law, Jethro, a peaceful shepherd. Away from the drama of Egypt, little did he know his destiny was about to catch up to him. One quiet day, as he was shepherding his flock near Mount Horeb, also known as the Mountain of God, he noticed something strange. A bush was on fire, but it wasn't burning up. Intrigued, he decided to investigate. As he got closer, he heard a voice coming from the flames. "Moses! Moses!" the voice called out. Startled, Moses replied, "Here I am." Then came the instructions that made his heart skip a beat. "Don't come any closer. Take off your sandals. The place where you're standing is holy ground." Moses quickly obeyed, removing his sandals and getting ready to listen. The voice continued, "I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob." At this, Moses wasn't sure if he should be scared or amazed. He hid his face because he was afraid to look toward God. Then God explained why he had called Moses. He told him he had seen the suffering of the Israelites in Egypt, heard their cries and felt their pain. He had decided to save them from slavery and lead them to a land of freedom and prosperity. And he chose Moses to be the deliverer. Can you imagine the shock? Going from a simple shepherd to a leader of a nation in one moment. But Moses wasn't so sure about this plan. "Who am I to go to Pharaoh and lead the Israelites out of Egypt?" he asked. He felt like a nobody. How could God choose him for such a big task? Despite his doubts, God reassured him, saying, "I will be with you." But Moses wasn't convinced. He questioned how he could prove to the Israelites that God had really sent him. That's when God gave him two signs. His staff would turn into a snake and then go back to normal, and his hand would become leprous, then heal. These were signs that God was with him. But even with these signs, Moses wasn't done doubting. He said, "Oh God, please forgive me. I've never been good at talking. I'm slow with words and tongue-tied." Despite Moses' worries, God remained patient. He told Moses that he would help him speak and would teach him what to say. Yet Moses wasn't finished. He tried one last time to get out of this mission. He begged God to send someone else, like his brother Aaron, who was great with words. And finally, God's patience wore thin. His anger burned against Moses, but he didn't give up. God told Moses that Aaron would go with him about to catch up to him. One quiet day as he was shepherding his flock. Together, they would lead the Israelites to freedom. In that moment, it was clear to Moses that this calling couldn't be ignored. This burning bush wasn't just a random bush on fire. It was a way for God to show that he was there. He was in control, and he had a plan for Moses and his people. As the flames crackled and danced around the bush, they showed God's power and his love for his people. Through this experience, we see that God can use anyone for his purposes. Even when we feel like we're just ordinary people in ordinary places, We need to pay attention to those moments when the ordinary seems to catch the extraordinary. Just like Moses, we might miss God's call if we don't keep our eyes open for the signs around us.